So our most successful clients have this way of always being very optimistic, and their minds naturally look for solutions and actions they can take towards their goals. So they think about what they can do, what the next logical step is, and they're focusing their minds very intentionally on what they want, where they want to go, and the things that are going to get them there, versus the clients who are not as successful are thinking, well, this is going wrong right now, and what if I do this? They're thinking about penalties, what it's going to cost them, what could go wrong, what they cannot do, who might judge them. They're thinking of the worst outcomes, and that blocks them from even having ideas.
Namaste. You're listening to the Savannah Podcast. Join us on an exploration of Eastern spirituality, yoga philosophy, and conscious living for the new age. This podcast is a production of SavannahSpirit.com, the best place to shop for unique clothing, spiritual handcrafted jewelry, healing gemstones, and fair trade gifts from the Far East. Now, here's your host, Brett Larkin.
Hello, Savannah family. Welcome back to the show. Today, we're talking about abundance mindset and how to earn big if you own your own business. I created this episode specifically thinking of those of you who are maybe health coaches, yoga teachers, healers, or want to pursue those types of professions. But the tips that we're going to hear in this episode really apply to any business. So if you're a business owner or thinking you might want to branch out on your own one day, this is the episode for you. We're talking to Carolin Soldo. She's been called the fairy godmother of coaches. She has years of experience, deep expertise, and a huge international coaching community. Her focus is helping her clients go from zero to full-time income in their desired profession in less than 4 months, and also break through the $1 million mark. Carolin herself runs two $2 million businesses. She's helped build numerous multi-7-figure businesses, including her own international coaching company. Talking about money and how much to charge in sort of the healing world and yoga world can be really controversial and intimidating, which is why I was, again, excited to have Carolin cover in this episode how to get comfortable with charging more for your services, if that's something you're interested in, how to embrace risk, how much to save as compared to spend when it comes to your business. She's also going to tell us why she's not a fan of affirmations and share some really cool personal stories about the scariest things she ever did in her business. A lot of the questions I ask her are things that I personally struggled with when I was starting my own yoga teaching career. My hope is that you walk away from this episode inspired and more courageous about taking action towards the business of your dreams. All right, now remember, everything on this show, the guests, the topics we cover, all of it is made possible by SavannahSpirit.com. And today I'm featuring their citrine 3-stone pendant because citrine is aiding in helping abundance and giving you courage and helping you make hard choices. So it's really appropriate for today's episode because we're talking about how to cultivate that abundance mindset and earn more income if that's something you're interested in. It's a beautiful necklace with 3 citrine stones. Remember to use that code TAKE25 at SavannahSpirit.com. That's going to just take $25 off anything in your shopping cart. It's such a great deal. All right, now let's dive in today's episode with Carolin. Carolin, thank you so much for being here and for coming on the show.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm curious, before we dive in, do you have a yoga and meditation practice as well?
Not yoga, but meditation. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So we'll touch on that a little bit more later. I'd love for us to start by you just telling the listeners a little bit about your background and how you made that huge leap from working for someone else to starting your own business, because I think that's a thing that so many people aspire to do, and so many people in the wellness community especially aspire to do. But it's pretty nerve-wracking to make that leap. I know it was for me, and I'd love for you to tell us your story.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, but I'm going to try to hit some of the highlights, right? So I became an entrepreneur in 2009, right after my second son was born. And it all happened when I had a big health crisis. And it had to do with my pregnancy, where I ended up being very unhealthy in my body and also mindset wise and mentally, with a lot of like postpartum depression. And I was really out of balance, and I had to go back to work, which was extremely painful to me. Leaving my boys, and I had two at that point, with someone else, and then the stress of going to work and doing something that really wasn't lighting me up, and my physical condition. So I embarked on a big health journey where I dropped a tremendous amount of weight. It was over 100 pounds. And I literally changed my entire outlook on not only my health, but also my family. I became happier. And I discovered health coaching. I actually worked with a health coach for my own health at that point. And that's when I found coaching, and I thought, wow, what an amazing profession, right? She's working from home. She is able to give back. She loved what she was doing. She got great results for me. And I kind of fell in love with that model. And I thought, wow, maybe this is my opportunity to do something here as well. So that's when the decision happened for me to say, I want to try to be a health coach. So I began the smart hustle, is what we call it, where you have a job and that pays the bills, but you try to run a business on the side and you try to make it all work. And that's what I did with my two boys and my husband for about 18 months. And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, I have to make a decision now. If this is not working, nobody ever sees me. All I do is work, or at work or in my business. The boys don't see me. My husband didn't see me. And it was actually Boris at that point that said, you know what, forget the job, just give it a try, go all in. And when he gave me that permission, that's really all I needed to say, okay, I can do this. And that's when I went full time in my business, and things worked pretty quickly. I had my first higher paying client about 4 months later, and I did health coaching for a while at that point. And then in 2014, I sort of got that bug again where I wanted to do something different, and I rebranded everything completely and went into business coaching to utilize my business background a bit more. I have an MBA in marketing, and I had always worked in marketing, promotions, market research, advertising in corporate back in the days. And I decided to help health coaches launch out, grow, and scale their business. So I was the business coach for health coaches. That's what I did for a while. And then eventually we broadened our niche. And nowadays we help coaches in all different niches. And coaching is so amazing and growing so fast now. And we're doing really well. And maybe I'm making it sound really easy right now, Brett. It wasn't. We had a lot of ups and downs, but yeah, that's what.
Well, we're going to grill into all of that next. So, I mean, I know you're really known for helping coaches go from zero to a full-time income in less than 4 months. And a lot of them break through the $1 million mark. And I know you run, 2 multi-million-dollar businesses, and it's so admirable. And so I'm curious, when you made that leap, to go all in full time, I mean, if you're willing to share with us, like, how much income were you making at the time? Was that frightening? Was it a big leap of faith?
It was a big leap of faith. So I was earning about $95,000 in my corporate job plus bonuses. And my bonuses were another $20,000, $30,000. So I was already a six-figure earner, right, in my corporate job. And I didn't have any advertising expenses. That was my money. I had to pay taxes, and that was it, right? So I had a great income. You know what though? For me, money was never my main driver. And even to this day, money is not my main driver and where my satisfaction comes from. And I had to learn that, because in the beginning I thought it would be my main driver, but it's not. So I had some money saved up. So my job actually fueled my expenses. It fueled my business, and I could pay for some investments, and I could pay for a brand and a website, and, hiring some team members. And so I had that advantage. But it really wasn't ever about the money. It was scary, yes, but I had a little bit of money saved up, and I also had my husband supporting me. So, many people don't have that. I had that advantage, and that helped me a lot.
So one of the things I think yoga teachers, health coaches, healers really struggle with, and feel free to correct me if you disagree, but they struggle with asking for a lot of money when they start their business, right? There's sort of like this scarcity mindset that if you're healing people or helping people, you shouldn't be charging a lot of money. What do you have to say about that? And, I think that's going to get into the mindset work that we're going to talk about as we continue.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't know anything about me, I actually take a stance for premium pricing. I actually do not allow my clients to charge low prices, because I see it as a huge disadvantage for them, but also for their clients. And I could talk about that for hours, really. But as a coach, we we really transform people's lives. And especially if you're a spiritual coach or a health coach, or, you believe in the mindset work that people need to be doing, you should never undervalue yourself, because if you do that, you'll be working a lot of time. You'll be working with lots of clients, and clients that invest in lower end programs usually aren't as committed. So, I can have someone charging by the hour. Let's say they charge even $200 an hour and work with 20 clients a month, or I can have someone charge $2,000 and work with 5 clients a month. And the person that charges higher prices and works with less people will actually earn a whole lot more and work a whole lot less. And I bet they will get better results for their clients, because they can actually provide quality service and focus in on these clients, and, really look at how they can create those transformations. Whereas if you have 20 clients at a time, you will not be able to do that. So you earn more, the clients are happier, the clients are more committed, the clients are getting better results, and everybody wins.
So I'm going to ask you something I'm sure you get asked all the time, which is, how do you find people who have $2,000 of disposable income to spend?
By offering them a solution to one of their most burning problems. People buy when they have a burning problem, when they see that you can provide them with a solution and an amazing outcome, and there is an emotional payoff as well. So, we have a lot of people coming to our business and they say, oh, I'm a life coach and I want to help people who are stuck. And I say, well, we got to go deeper. Stuck with what? What actual, tangible problem are you solving for them in their lives? Once you can clearly communicate what their problem is, people will buy, because I don't want to buy just anything. If I'm in trouble, if I have physical pain, emotional pain, if I feel down, if my relationship isn't working, if I feel disconnected from something, I'm suffering and I know it. And I'm looking for not just any solution, but the best. So that best in class positioning is where you want to be.
Now, I'm sure for you and many of your clients, when you start charging these high prices, it can feel scary, correct? At the first couple times you do it, right? So what do you tell people in terms of kind of dealing with those fears?
I would say get used to it slowly. And so what I did in the beginning, I did, market research. So all of our clients are conducting qualitative and quantitative market research, where we bring people into interviews, we bring them into actual, conversations, and we also do surveys with them.
So they're doing that they're doing the research to uncover the person's key burning problem.
Exactly. So when clients come to us, we help them conduct market research, which gives you a lot of confidence in pricing, because you can see what your competition is charging. And when you talk to your ideal client, they might actually give you an idea as to how much they might be willing to pay. But it's more competition driven when it comes to pricing, and also how much you want to earn. So we use that, but then the price you go out there with when you first launch your business won't be your final price, right? So my first program as a health coach, I sold that for $4,000. And then I raised my price, and then I raised it again, and then I rolled out a group program. So there, you sort of like get used to the pricing, and this sounds sort of strange, but that's what I did, and that's what I tell my clients. And you go out with something that you can stand behind. It might be a challenge for you a little bit, emotionally, but something that you feel like is still an amazing deal for the client. And then you get paid at that level, and then you raise your price, and you sort of like push the envelope a little bit with it. And as your confidence grows over time, you'll see the results that you're creating for people, and then it's almost, it's a no-brainer. You'll say, of course I will charge this much. Look at the results I'm creating for people. Look at how much they're changing and transforming, and it is absolutely worth it.
So do you believe in, or have you heard of the term, like people having money blocks? Because I think some yoga teachers, health coaches, they might even feel blocked to earning that much, right? It seems like excessive or something like that. Have you come up against people like that?
All the time. And I see a lot of people feeling really yucky around money and feeling, either not deserving, or they're afraid of who they might become if everything, is around money, and they start to want more money. And so they have some very negative associations with a lot of money. And in order for us to be successful, we have to learn to really love, embrace, and really, call money in and be happy having money and not, spending it all, but really be positive and welcoming to money in order for you to have it. Because even if you don't want the money, it's necessary for you to invest in things to get your message out there more, right? To run ads or to, host an event where hundreds of people can come and hear your message. So again, for me, it's not about the money. I have it in my account, but I see it as a resource for me to host my events, go take my clients on retreats, go take my team on retreats and pay for those things. And I know it's necessary. And it also gives me a sense of security knowing that I'm okay. But I understand when people, most of us are raised with not an abundance mindset. We're raised with a mindset of lack. This is how much the family has. This is how much we can spend. We have to be careful not to spend too much, otherwise bad things might happen. So that's how we're raised, and we have to rid ourselves from that mentality a little bit before we can really go out there and attract more.
So what are the key mindset shifts you think people need to make to really skyrocket their income and experience the success that we've been talking about? I know before we started recording, you mentioned a little bit about the entrepreneurial mindset as compared to the employee mindset. So maybe you can kick off with that one and then share us, whatever else you have.
Mm-hmm. I see a very clear divide between many of our clients who are highly successful and many of our clients who still struggle a little bit in their business. And it has nothing to do with your background, your experience, your skills, technology, or any of the things you like to blame. It's always in your own mind. So our most successful clients have this way of always being very optimistic, and their minds naturally look for solutions and actions they can take towards their goals. So they think about what they can do, what the next logical step is, and they're focusing their minds very intentionally on what they want, where they want to go, and the things that are going to get them there, versus the clients who are not as successful are thinking, well, this is going wrong right now. And what if I do this? They're thinking about penalties, what it's going to cost them, what could go wrong, what they cannot do, who might judge them. They're thinking of the worst outcomes. And that blocks them from even having ideas. This feeling when you're just sort of like high vibe and you're flying and you're like, oh my God, I'm so happy. My life is amazing. I'm so grateful. You're sitting outside, you're doing yoga, you're meditating, you're in the sun. Ideas will come to you. You're getting excited about those ideas. And then you're energized to take action on those ideas. And that's when your big results will come to you. When you sit there and you're thinking, I can't do this, and what if this happens, and what if that happens, and I'm spending all this money, and you're not even thinking about the potential rewards and opportunities, you're blocking yourself off from even having any ideas that will get you ahead, that you can take action on. And that's where the real blocks come in.
In yoga, we say where your attention goes, your energy flows. And it sounds exactly like what you're saying here. And I think people do really struggle with this when it comes to money, because it's like, so I'm curious if you're, I hope I'm not overstepping my bounds, but if you're willing to share with us, like, do you have, for example, affirmations you say around money, or does cultivating abundance and money play a part in your own personal meditation practice or journaling practice or anything like that?
So I do not believe in affirmations. I believe in intentionally focusing my mind on either an emotion I want to feel and trying to stay in that emotion all day, or I really focus my mind on what is good right now. So it has to do with me feeling grateful. If I wake up in an energy where I'm sort of anxious and I'm fearful, and this feeling in your stomach where you kind of feel sick almost, I go back to what I have right now that's already good enough. When I know that I'm already good the way it is right now, and I don't necessarily need more, I'm already happy now. And if I get more, that's great. But if I don't, I'm already okay. So the pressure comes off. I feel calm. I feel relaxed. And then I can go out there and inspire my team, inspire my clients, hold space for them, and be that grounded and strong leader I need to be for the people that are following me. So to me, affirmations don't work if I don't feel good. I have to feel good first. And that comes from a sense of focusing on love and focusing on joy. Those are my two go-to emotions. And I think, where is my love? Where do I get my love? My boys, my dog, my clients, my team, my husband's loving me. I love myself. There's so much love in this world. It's so fun. There's so much joy. So I really sort of like draw that in with my mind, and I close my eyes and I visualize and I meditate on that. And that's when I become ready to maybe say affirmations. So it's a state that needs to be happening first before you even believe affirmations. You can say them all day long, but if you don't really let them in and you don't believe them, I am abundant, money is coming easily. It's like, I don't even believe it. I don't feel it. So it always starts with an emotion. And then if affirmations work for you, you can use that. For me, it's again more a focus where my mind goes to, where are my next steps? Where can I make an impact today? What's exciting to me? So I think very logically and strategically about projects and things and travel I want to do. And it's a little abstract how my mind kind of works. But I have learned that over time, I have to believe it. I have to feel it. And it's like you're training your muscles in yoga. It's like you can hold certain poses. You train your mind not to go in a direction that doesn't serve you. When you notice worry, when you notice concern, you say, I'm not going to think about that right now. I will force my mind. I will draw that direction or that focus towards something that is actually serving me right now and what I can do, right? And creating some ideas towards my goals and where I want to go. Does that make sense?
It does. And Carolin, this is why I was so excited to have you on the show, because I think a lot of people who do yoga and meditation have these skills, right? Meditation is all about focusing your mind, right? And kind of getting those subconscious patternings or, the monkey mind to quiet down and focus. But I think so many struggle with applying it to abundance and financial success. And before we let you go, I'm hoping you can tell us a little bit about the entrepreneurial mindset, because I don't know if you see this. I train a lot of yoga teachers. What I see so often is that people don't understand that when they become a yoga teacher, they're actually becoming a business owner and entrepreneur, because there's not very many like W-2 full-time employee yoga teachers, right? You're a contractor. You suddenly become a business owner. And this is shocking to a lot of people who kind of expect that once they start teaching yoga, they're just going to kind of get a paycheck like they maybe did in their prior career. And I know with health coaching, it's similar. So all of a sudden, they're in this position of being an entrepreneur. And I know because of all the success you've had, you can tell us and share about what that entrepreneurial mindset really looks like in order to achieve your big goals.
Mm-hmm. So in a nutshell, the entrepreneur thinks in terms of taking risks. They embrace risk. They know it's necessary and they know how to use it, because they say, if I risk this much, what's my potential return? It's always risking something first. I invest in advertising because I think I will get revenue back. I hire a staff member because I think this person will help me, again, save time, make more money, become more efficient, or get closer to my goals. But I always have to put myself out there, put more on the line before I will get things back. Whereas as an employee, you're a yoga teacher, like let's say you get the money first, you get paid, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 a month. And then you think, what can I do with this money now? And all you see is the money going away. So you spend it. So it's a complete 360 you need to be making with your mind, and understanding that risk is always going to be there and seeing that as a necessary, right? So we're taking out loans, we're using credit cards, we're using up our savings, but we do it in a smart way, in a wise way that optimizes our chances to get that return back. But there's never a guarantee. So we have to become friends with risk. I can also give you a couple of tangible steps that I teach my clients that help them. And two things in particular that I really want everybody to have is a 5-year vision and a 12-month plan. So if you're a yoga teacher right now and you want to become a coach or you want to be offering other services, don't just do it without having a plan. When you have a plan, a 12-month business plan, even if you're down, even if you go back into fear mode, even if you're spiraling down oh my God, my money is gone and I can't do anything. When you have a plan, you can use that to create solutions, to build up new projects, to take steps again. And that 5-year vision is even more important because that's your big why, right? Because money comes and goes and your business can be successful today, but not successful tomorrow, because it depends not only on you, but your employees and people and advertising. There's so many unknowns. But if you have a vision that drives you, even if things don't go well for a little bit, you keep going because that gives you passion and power. So that's one, having a really vivid, clear vision and a plan. Number two, most people who have a lack mindset don't manage their money really well. They don't look at credit card statements. They don't have budgets. They don't have savings. And even if they have a lot of money, they will spend it fast and it's all gone. So they never get ahead. What makes me feel great nowadays and has always made me feel amazing is having savings. I have this habit of when I make money, I keep it. I've made a lot of money in my days, Brett, but you know what? My lifestyle really hasn't changed that much. Not to say that I'm, not spending it. We travel and we've, updated our house and we do things for sure, but I always put money away. I've built my savings. I've built my checking account. I've put money into investment accounts. Even if it's just $20 a month right now, it doesn't matter because that money is not just there to be spent, but money gives you security. And when you're running a business and at the same time, you're building up a little bit of a nest egg and that cushion, right? It gives you that security in your mind where you know that you're going to be fine, even if something bad happens, even if you have a bad month. The same goes for credit cards. Many people don't like them, but what I did in the beginning, I actually opened credit cards that had low interest or 0% interest, even though I didn't need them right away. And I didn't use them immediately, but I felt like, you know what, I have something to fall back on. If I need them, I pull them out. Even to this day, I don't like credit. I pay most of my stuff off. So I have all of my team, my advertising expenses, everything is going on a credit card that I pay off completely at the end of the month. But I also have access to some lines of credit through my bank, and they just sit there in case I need them. So having those things, it's almost like, I don't know, it's this cushion. It's like this nest, right, that I have around me where I feel even if things go really bad, they go really wrong, I can live for another 5 years if I needed to.
Yeah. And Carolin, I want you to keep giving us tips, but I do want to ask you, do you have like a kind of percentage rule that you tell people for how much to save and how much, like say your business is making $50,000 a year, right? You're starting out or something like that. Do you suggest like save 50 and kind of invest 50? Because I think people can also get into the other place where they just save all of it and then they're not taking any risk, right? So it's a delicate balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends on what mode you're in. If you're in heavy growth mode, you may not be able to save anything, right? But or save a whole lot. So it may only be 5% of what you're earning. If you're in a mode like right now, I'm in more of a maintenance kind of mode because I really enjoy where I am and my business is doing really well. I'm able to put more away. So maybe it's 25, 30%. I don't think you're ever going to be at 50 because there's always in business, you will always have new goals and things that you'd want to try out and you want to invest in. So 50 to me seems a little high, but see if you can do 20. 20 would already be really great. And then go from there and adjust it up or down, depending on whether you want to grow your business and how fast you want to grow it.
Okay, last question. What's the scariest thing you ever did in your business? And if you're willing to tell us numbers you put on the line, that would be really inspiring too.
Yeah, I would have to say the scariest thing was when I ran my first event. So in 2015, I decided to host a bigger scale event, and we had about 150 people attended, and I hit my goals. But in the beginning of the year, I think that was January, February, I said, you know what? My next big challenge is to be hosting international live events for the public, where people can come and learn and have fun and network. And the cost for that event was about $86,000. And I remember, I'm not sure how much I had on my bank account, but I remember thinking, okay, even if I make no money at all, and this is a complete loss, I can still pay for everything because I had enough in my bank account yet and more, and I'll be fine, right? It's not the end of the world. I'll build it back up. I'll get the money back in my account, but I wanted this so badly. And then I hired an event planner and I had to put money down with the hotel and, the AV and the gift bags. And there was a huge amount of upfront expense, and everything really came down to 3 days. And then during those 3 days, I rolled out my 12-month program that we have today, the Powerhouse Coach, for the first time. I had no idea if anybody would buy it. I stood on that stage thinking, oh my God, now I have to pitch something. I also never pitched anything from a live stage, right?
You had put $86, I wrote, $1,000 on the line just to host the event. And did people paid to attend it?
They did, but we only made about $24,000 in income from that. So it all
got it.
It all came down to me promoting a brand new program I had just created, and I had no idea if anybody would even want it.
Okay, so you're on stage. Sorry, pick back up. I just wanted to really make sure everyone understood the picture because, yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, so I'm on stage. It's day 2, and I'm going into my pitch. And I did not expect this, but I got so emotional because then I told people about how I immigrated and the story with my mom. And then I cried. I'm like, oh my God, now I'm crying. No one's ever going to buy anything. I'm done. But I was on that stage and I said, if this is for you, if this is calling you, let's talk. Talk to me. I'm going to tell you if I can help you or not. We'll figure this out. And I had a waiting line, Brett. They actually had to find me a little office at this hotel where I could meet with women privately. And my assistant, she timed my sessions 10 minutes each, and she would knock at the door and say, hey, someone else wants to talk to you as well. So it was a huge success. I'm trying to think back how much we made. I think it was over $380, $390. So, we invested 86. We made approximately $380,000 at this event, and it blew me away. Never expected it. It was the scariest thing I'd ever done with the money, but also being on stage because I'm a natural introvert. So being on stage in front of people is terrifying to me. But yeah, it was amazing. And then we had the event again. Last year we were in Las Vegas. We're going to have it again this year in Hollywood. And now it's one of my most favorite things, but I'm still in this mindset where I'm thinking, if they join us, great. But whether I make 10 sales or 20 sales or no sales, which is not going to happen, but it's really not about that. It's the love I have for the event, and I love paying for it, and I love the community we've created. So it's a payoff in itself already.
Well, that's a perfect segue for me to ask you, how can listeners find and connect and potentially work with you? Maybe you can just walk us through the best way to connect with you online and the different sort of offerings you have in case they're wanting to learn more.
For sure. I think the easiest way definitely is the website. So it's just my name, Carolin with an I, Soldo.com. Go there. We have links to the 2 different programs we have available. There is also a link to our event. Not sure when this episode will air, but now is a great time because we have our event coming up in September in Hollywood. So if you want to meet me and my team and our speakers in person, check out From Passion to Profits Live. It's September 14, 15, and 16, and we'll be coaching you there for 3 full days. It's an amazing event. We have hundreds of coaches. We expect about 400 coaches to attend from all over the world. And we have some pretty exciting speakers. Check that out. I have 2 simple programs. If you're a brand new coach and you're looking to start up a brand new coaching practice, we can help you. And we do that in 4 months. We'll teach you everything from niching, branding, web design, program design with high ticket prices. And we show you how we get clients. It's a very simple sales funnel. We automate it. And it's very easy for anybody that is a real expert to get that done. So if you're new, we have that. If you're more experienced and you already have worked with some clients and you have some bigger goals, maybe you want to make your first $1 million in business, we have the Powerhouse Coach. And that's where we help you for a whole year. And we go through sales funnel automation. We help you build what we call hybrid programs where you work with groups. We help you host events. And most importantly, we help you build a team. I have about 18 people on my team now, including a sales team and coaches who coach for me and amazing business support. And you can't do it all yourself. And I'm sure you all know that. So hiring them, training them, onboarding them, managing people, developing a meeting cadence and all that good stuff is what we cover in Powerhouse. And that's where we go on retreats and we take you to some amazing locations around the world, and we actually coach you in person, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, Carolin, thank you so much for coming on the show. Savannah family, I'm curious how many of you are currently in business, meaning you're teaching yoga or you're a health coach or maybe an Ayurvedic counselor or therapist. If that's you, I really hope this episode resonated with you. Make sure to let me know in the private Facebook group, savannahspirit.com/group will redirect you. And as you know, your ratings and reviews here on iTunes mean everything to me. So make sure to leave a rating or review if you haven't done that already. I'm sending you so much love. From my heart to yours, namaste.
You've been listening to the Savannah Podcast. To find out more about Savannah, go to savannahspirit.com or follow Savannah on Facebook at facebook.com/Savannah Spirit. For daily inspiration, check out our blog at savannaeast.com. Be sure to join us next week for a new episode, and thank you for listening to the Savannah Podcast.